How you doing, family? Okay, this is going to be movie one on lectures movie a video series 2, and I'm gonna start right off again, right off the bat. And the reason I'm doing this is because I missed the stitch on my affirmation about this the terror tactics of the Christian religion. They all do it. But I'm focusing on the Christian religion because I was born a Baptist. Um, and another one of the main reason why, which I neglected to point out in my, particularly the last 3 or 4 movies, why I totally reject almost the entire Bible. Um, but I refer back to it because they have taken some of the truth and surrounded it in a sea of what should I call it? Uh, Silliness, cloudiness, um, uh, fairy tales, and outright lies. And the thing that bothers me is this outright lie part. The reason why I want to really kind of make sure that my son and my grandson, I don't want them to embrace this thing at all. I would rather they just go ahead and get into spirituality, get into metaphysics through the science. I want them to have a more scientific approach towards spirituality, and that's why I'm doing this series of lectures, because to be spiritually connected to all human beings and all things through God is real. That's science. That's a fact. That's pure raw metaphysics and what's the word? Physics in general. You know, you just look at physics. I mean, whether it's astrophysics, metaphysics, or quantum physics. That's the word I was looking for. Quantum physics, which deals with the actual crossover point between thought and how it impacts on matter. Okay, how the subconscious really is the scientific research into how your beliefs impact matter and begin to manipulate the subconscious part of the macrocosmic being, the machine that the macro has put into place, okay, that actually shapes and actually does the physical work of creating stuff, okay, that you believe in. Now, what ticks me off about the Christian, the Bible, and the church and the whole con game that they're running is that it was useful at a time when people were absolute ape-like brutes, clean up right up until 18, and really no 19. I would say 19. I'd say 19, the 1960s. Well, I look at it from the perspective of black people and African Americans. We, because they denied us the right to read and be equal, treated equal in terms of getting access to education, information across the board, okay, health and the whole nine. Uh, so that makes you into a brute. If you denied the right to read and educate yourself and clothe yourself and provide for your family and have a culture and a structure that makes you empowers you to be the best that you can be, then that could turn you into a brute. by nature, and that's what they wanted to do. But one of the most insidious things that they did by denying, particularly African Americans, they didn't even deny Native Americans the right to read. Native Americans could read. See, but they weren't afraid of what Native Americans could do, because they looked at the Native Americans' past and they said, oh, there's no pyramids in the Native American past. The pyramids and all that stuff was in Egypt, and they knew what African Americans were capable of. And so they knew that they learned from Africans in Egypt that all this stuff about believing is seeing. They knew about the power of belief. That's why they created that stupid Bible. They want to make you believe in something. Your belief, they know that belief is so powerful, and therefore they're going to jump in front and they're going to traumatize you, okay? Deny you the access to read so you won't find out why they're traumatizing you. And then by the time you finally find out why they were traumatizing you, they're already 300-400 years ahead of you. And that's what happened to African Americans. We still playing catch up, folks. This is sausage making. This is sausage making on two levels. This is sausage making with those things, those brutes that denied African Americans the right to read. They're so ignorant and dumb and disconnected from the totality and the truth of our existence. They've decided to selectively pick and choose what areas they're going to focus their energy on by denying African Americans the right to read. See, they're dumb to their own people. They're not just doing African, they're doing African Americans, and then they're doing another kabuki doll by what they're doing to white folks and getting them to believe the con job that they are better than the people of color. That's another con job. So they got them in the consumer ring, helping them to control everybody else, thinking that they're getting some benefit in some white supremacy crap, which is another kabuki doll lie. So, but all of them are controlled by this belief in this Bible, in this whole Christian con job that didn't even exist before Christ came around. So that should tell you right there something's wrong. What was it before Christ? It wasn't Christianity. You know what it was? It was metaphysics. It was the Rosicrucians. It was the reality. And the Egyptians kept everybody ignorant too, and they were black. So don't think there's a color thing going on here, folks. The Egyptians kept everybody ignorant. They could have educated everybody. They didn't do it. They chose not to do it. Now you gotta accept that. So let's don't get this twisted. No, this ain't a white thing. This is about power and control. And that's the first thing I said I want to give you. Change the dynamic in my book is change the dynamic of this existence and how we think about it and who. And the main thing I want to change is put the control back where it was originally supposed to be. You. No church, no Christ, no Bible. Forget about all that stuff. Get into mastering your beliefs. Why? For who? For you. And what are your guidelines? Righteousness. Moral righteousness. You know what's morally correct? Do that. Be that. Why? Because you want your whole environment to be balanced and good and healthy and decent. That's what you don't need to be buying all of these color TVs and all this stuff and listening to this crap up here in this TV. Cut that thing off. That's the first thing you have to do. You have to learn to be comfortable and empowered by just being with you. You got to get comfortable with this, folks. You got to get comfortable in your own skin about you. Okay? And that's what I don't like about this Christian crap. The Muslims are way worse. I don't even want to get into them and the crap that, please, they really Johnny come latelys. But the thing I want to also point out, and I don't want to get too far off track, is the heaven and hell is one lie. Okay? And that Jesus is the one that is controlling everything for you is lie 2. Lie 3 is that you only get this life right here, and after that is heaven or there's hell, and but with that, I'm focusing on the death part, that you gonna die. Lie, 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 lie. You can't die. God never dies. Evolves in a spiral upward. Come into life, go through life, go back out of life, come back into life, to another life, go through life, come back out of life, go back, come into a new life, go up, start it, go through that life, come out, go back into life, and keep going. Every time you come back in, you're smarter, you're better, you're sharper, you're more aware. Now that's the truth. And you see evidence of it everywhere. All throughout nature, cycles. Read the Rosicrucians. They don't talk about no, and this is the thing I want. What's number 4? Okay, I said the heaven and hell lie. Jesus is the one that does everything for you. You do you. God don't do it. No. God gave that power to you. You do it. You create thoughts. You create everything in this environment here. Your environment. You. Not Jesus. Jesus never even said he did. He wanted to do it. They came up with that lie. Then they told another lie about God. Oh, God got angry. God angry at you if you don't do what they do it this way. Then God is going to be angry with you. BS. Lie. No. Lie number 3. And the biggest lie of them all, which I should use this finger, because this is what they're doing to the society, that there's some apocalyptic end, that Christ is going to come back, and then they've been predicting this forever. Christ is going to come back, and then only the chosen ones, it's going to be a certain number that's going to go up to heaven. Really? I mean, this is such a filthy lie. A terror. It's a terror, a tactic. They might as well be out there lopping off heads with the ISIS guys. That's the same level of terror, because you're telling people they're going to die forever. What a filthy lie. What a filthy, low down, despicable, dishonorable lie. And I say it's dishonorable because they know better. They know it's a lie, and they told it to you so they can make sure they keep you terrorized into believing in their con game. It's a filthy, just makes my blood boil. They do this to children. And they do this to grown children and real physical children. Across the board. Prey on your ignorance. That's why they don't want to educate you. Especially those things in that party they calling themselves Republicans. They really don't want you to know nothing. Filthy lying. It makes my blood boil. Apocalyptic end. So in other words, they want you to believe that the world is going to come to an end in a ball of fire. First there was some flood, which was probably some freaking still the earth is still going through accretion. The earth is still, see, they're taking advantage of the natural evolution, both physical that the earth is going through. The tectonic plates are still moving. The earth is still forming. It's still growing. It's still changing. And they take advantage of these global tectonic changes that are happening due to gravitational pulls of the moon and the sun and the Jupiter and all this scientific stuff that they know is happening. And they build a filthy lie around it to keep you buying into their belief system. Means they incorporate millions of people into believing. And now that we know the power of belief, how insidious, low down, and filthy are these things that are knowingly doing this to you. And I'm telling you, chest out, head up, shoulders back. Stand on your own 2 feet and take your family with you. Don't buy into this terrorism and don't pay them 10% of your money to help enslave you and your whole family to this filthy lie about some apocalyptic end of the world. Bad enough they told you you're going to go to hell if you don't kiss their ring and do all the other crap they want you to do. But then they're going to tell you the whole damn world is going to go up in a ball of flame and you're going to die. So why let the world go up in a ball of flame? That's what God wants. That's what God wants. But you ain't got to worry about going to no hell. Let's stop that. Let's stop that. And so don't keep giving them no 10% because you scared. Chest out. Head up. Not your fault. I'm just pissed off at them for lying to you. If belief is power, and God gave each and every one of us the power to choose what we will believe. You are so important to God that it gave that power, it gave that power only to you. That's why they say in the little iota of truth they got, if 2 or 3 of you, 1 or more of you is together, because the combined belief, 2, 3, 4, 5 people all believe in the same thing. You are projecting some real power and manipulating the subconscious mind machine into creating even 3 times, however many persons there, that's multiply that power. So if they got you believing a filthy lie, so scared and traumatized and terrorized, your emotions are into exponential levels. You're so damn scared. And you're playing right into their game. Nothing in it for you, everything in it for them. You giving all your power and all your control to these things. Your power that God gave you. Now you know. If you continue to do it, don't blame God. Don't blame Jesus. You can't even blame the pastor. Because you know now exactly what kind of con job you are volunteering to get into. I know one thing. My grandson, my son, that's okay. We'll take our chances with God. Y'all go ahead and take your chances with the pastor and with Jesus somewhere. Let them control everything for you. Go ahead. I'll make sure my grandson don't have that ain't caught up in that crap. And if I can get my nieces and nephews to learn how to use their own power and be the Jedis and the guardians that they're supposed to be, that God gave them the authority to be, you better believe. And they don't want to listen to me, that's on them. At least they know. And you know too, the same truth. So do what you got to do. Don't let these people terrorize you into punking out and giving them all your power. God gave that power to you for you. That's what I'm into. Okay. Because of the trauma of slavery, there's some other issues that we need to deal with. What these things did to African Americans. And we know why they did it. That's what that whole, segue was all about. It was really about pointing out to you, particularly to African Americans and people of color, but most people weren't enslaved. Only African Americans were enslaved. So that's why I'm dealing with African Americans. Okay? The rest of y'all, you want to come in and get some, it's for you too. But you haven't been enslaved. African Americans have been enslaved for 300 years of free labor, and we're going to deal with that. Then we're going to get payback on that. It ain't over. That 1965 crap, when they finally made the playing field, they finally let us sit at the table, that ain't catch up. That's just even. That's even out the playing field. You ain't pay us for the 300 years of free labor that you gave. Oh, that's coming. Reparations going to be on the menu until it's solved. Everybody else got it. You gave it to the Chinese. You gave it to the Japanese. I mean, not Chinese. You gave it to the Japanese. Yeah, you gave something. No, they didn't give anything to the Chinese. You gave something to the Japanese. I think you did something for the Jews too. Whatever, whoever you gave it to. Bottom line, you ain't never gave nothing to African Americans. We're gonna deal with that. It's just we ain't ever giving up on that. So y'all don't tell nobody to get over nothing. You get over something, get over that filthy thing. You get over us not backing up that filthy thing y'all got in the White House right now. You get over that. Because we ain't gonna ever back up that unrighteous, filthy thing. Con man, criminal, gangster. Talking about he gonna threaten everybody if we don't. He even got Comey talking about, we gonna make sure. Well, if we don't want to impeach him because the people, let them carry on. I wish they would. We are going to impeach his ugly, pink, ugly behind. If they get the evidence, he going down. And if they want to jump bad, go ahead, bust a move. Got something for your behind. It's called ARMY. And National Guard. You want to see some firepower? Mess up and bust a move. That's what I say to them. Mess up and bust a move. Got something for that backside. Now, so because of the trauma and what I've been reading, and I'm not saying that this is absolute, but since we're making sausage, and for African Americans, we're playing catch up. Everybody else that had government helping them doing everything, and the Bible backing them up, and TV backing them up, and everybody Chinese, everybody Japanese, everybody getting back up from everybody except African American. We ain't nobody helping us. Okay, so we do have there are some John Browns and some abolitionists and some very critical, honest and decent white folks who have been, or I should say, good people who have been bending over backwards to help African Americans because they knew what was going on was wrong. Okay, and they are good people who happen to be white. Just so we get this guy, I ain't into no racism. I don't do the race game. Okay, but one of the things I think we need to look at as far as African Americans is concerned, we have to start trying things to help cleanse and heal and heal our minds in order to get this flesh out of control and get this microcosmic being back into control in this human being, or this human being combination. Okay, and one of the things I think we need to consider and this is one of the tools I have considered. I read this over 30, 40 years ago, is Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard. This book right here. In this book, he talks about something that I found to be fascinating, and it kind of may help to explain some of the dysfunctional behavior. And the same dysfunctional behavior is happening with people who happen to be white as well. But no people have been as traumatized as African Americans in America. Okay? We have been more traumatized than any race on the planet. Okay, so this book talks about therapies and corrective actions that African Americans should read and consider. And it's what I like about it. It's not about hypnosis. It's just basically about talking through some of the traumas that have happened to you, to the point where you start to peel away some of the layers that are hiding a lot of what they call engrams, which cause a lot of dysfunctional behavior. And this book is about correcting that dysfunctional behavior. And as African Americans, we need to try everything we can in order to overcome that. I've read extensively. I don't know if you can see it here, but I have a lot of clips and things in here, markers and things in different areas that I covered. And I went through all of it, and I got to the point where they were talking about, kind of going on the couch with somebody you trust, somebody who's trained, and you can train yourself. That's what I like about this. You train yourself, and all of this is self-help. You don't need to pay nobody nothing. You need to just get somebody you can trust who is all about helping you. If you think you want to use this system, go with this system with Dianetics. Don't let nobody talk to you about no. They did develop a whole kind of cult group of following that was called Scientology, and this is the core technique that Scientology was built around. But I'm eclectic, and what I do is I go around and I take only the pieces out that I want, and I use that and leave the rest. Because I'm not trying to get no followers. I don't want to start a new religion either. We don't need no more religions. We need individuals to get themselves together and do it because it's the right thing to do. Okay? And by any means necessary, this is one of these by any means necessary tactics. It's just one of thousands of tactics that you can use. But I have read this over 30, 40 years ago when I first started getting into it, and I was fascinated by it then, and I'm still fascinated by it now. It's the only thing that really gives any explanations that is drug-free. It's another good thing I like about it. You don't need any drugs. And now if you're an extreme schizophrenic and you're hearing voices and stuff, that's a whole nother level. But this is the cause of it. And a chemical imbalance. If your chemistry is off in your body, this ain't gonna cut it. If you're chemically off, you got to put a counter chemical in place to heal, to balance that out. It's always about balance. This is a mental therapy, okay, that has to do with self-help. Okay, this is talking and support, on a social level, psychosocial level. That's what this is about. But what I love about it is it's self-help. I'm not talking about people who are extreme schizophrenics and bipolar and all that other stuff and may need a chemical balancer, to help you get yourself together. I'm not trying to be no psychiatrist, because psychiatrists administer drugs, okay, psychotherapists and stuff like that. And usually you have to have a psychiatrist background, psychiatric therapeutic background for stuff like that. But I like the Dianetics because it's self-help. Okay, this is for people who have been knocked out, raped, and I encourage you, just read it. It's fascinating. It's fascinating, and I'm all for anything that is for self-help. It gets you away from following all of these filthy liars and cheaters and con men and con women. Just stand on your own. Stand on your own. God gave you everything you need. God gave you everything you need. You know, and you just really need to get out there, reach out. And for people who don't know, that's why I'm doing these videos, especially African Americans. You got to get it together, folks. That means your diet has got to be to get together, got to be together. Your psycho has got to be together. If this therapy is going to work for you, try it. You got nothing to lose. Okay? Got nothing to lose. Try it. But now we know, and I'm going to recap. I wanted to introduce this to you. Wanted to bring home that point about the apocalyptic end of these religions and these filthy lies. Don't believe it. None of that crap. Is all lies just to terrorize you into following their game. So just forget about all that stuff. That's another huge weight now off your mind. You know, something that is controlling your mind and keeping you doing their thing and blinders on, and you're scared to do this and scared to listen to that, and oh, you want these people, and oh, you look around, you're going to turn to watch the Gomorrah, and you're going to turn to salt, and all this stupid nonsense and filthy fairy tales, myths, and outright lies. Just stop it. I was watching something the other day on YouTube. They have this guy talking about the Quran and how the only way to read it is in Arabic, a language that very few people can speak. They can't speak it, but that's the only true one. The one that's in Arabic. The translations, in other words, he's saying they ain't no good. Now, if you fall for that, okay, then I got another bridge for you over in New York. I could sell you real cheap. Only cost you a couple $100,000. I'll sell it to you real cheap. But the only way you can go ahead and take charge of it and cut traffic off on is after you pay me. Then you can go over to the bridge and I'll give you the barricades and everything so you can cut the bridge off and make everybody pay you toll to go over that bridge. If you're stupid enough to go for that, what he just said, then I can sell you a bridge real easy. Only language, only true Quran is then some. So folks, it's just really pathetic. Again, the reason why all this is happening is like the earth is still in transition. It's still evolving it's still settling down. The earth hasn't settled down. It's still moving. And that's what I think makes it so in harmony with the universal spirit, because it's still changing. It's still getting better. Okay? And the same with this human experience that we're having through the microcosmic being. Okay? Having this human experience for the macro, using the subconscious to create everything in this environment to make ourselves better. Okay, it's always an evolutionary process of being steadily always growing better. Okay, so continue to do the meditations. Let's see where we are here. Okay. Continue, and I wanted to introduce again this Dianetic system in here for you. I would like, I encourage you to read this. Eddie Coronado's, Neville Goddard's book, The Matrix of the Holy Trinity. I'm going to keep that up here for you. My book, The Anatomy of existence, of course, and then utilize the manifestation cycle chart here in order to help yourself make manifest and controlling your beliefs, using this techniques with L. Ron Hubbard to clear your mind so that you can better control your beliefs. Okay, and I have officially changed the title of my book here to The Anatomy of Existence and the Power of Belief. Thoughts and feelings are a part of the belief system, because belief is a system, and believe me, they know how to make you believe what they want you to believe, because they know it's a system. You, up until now, you never knew controlling your beliefs was a systemic thing, but they knew it. That's why they didn't want black people to read, because they knew it's a system. There are tried and true steps. Create a thought, crystal clear vision, colors, sounds, smells, tactile feelings, and emotional feelings. Okay? It's a system, folks. And they know exactly how to make you believe. Go to any church. The main thing they want you to do is believe. Believe in who? Believe in whatever they want you to believe. They use whatever trick, game, con, tactic. Christ got you into cannibalism. Practicing cannibalism the first of every month. Oh, this is my body. This is my blood. So they got you drinking Christ, symbolically drinking Christ's blood and eating his body. Folks, I say you have to, and I repeated this before, you have to have an insult level. And this is where I used to teach my nephew and my nieces them when I put a little group together when I was in Need More Projects, and we called it the Youth Development Forum. And one of the main principles I always said to them at the end and at the beginning of each, at the beginning and at the end of each meeting that we had was that, and I used to tell them, knowledge is power, and ignorance is a form of death. It's a mental death. It's a death that leaves you out of control and a puppet to everybody who is in control and is in charge of the con. Okay? And it's so true. It's so true. But there's a little bit of it's kind of like a downside of when you first become aware. You tend to be like, again, we're making sausage, and part of the awakening process, as you become aware of the power that you are a micro God, a microcosmic being, which is a micro God, in a flesh vehicle, having a human experience, not transferring any feelings and whatnot. Universal spirit don't need none of that. Too big. Subconscious mind don't need none of that. Infinite being don't need feelings. Now, you are experiencing feelings in this interface between the human and the being. You know, you're interfacing, and feelings and emotions and all those things are key to making things manifest. So they're functional. But Macrocosmic being don't need none of that stuff. Everything you about to give the macrocosmic being, it already is. So, you see? So, same with the subconscious being. Subconscious being don't care at all. All it does is make stuff. Period. Don't need feelings. All it needs is your beliefs. So in order for you to create solid, strong, clear beliefs, now you got to have feeling. Because this interface is designed that is one of the features of the interface. Okay? Feelings, both physical feeling and emotional feelings. That's a part of this design, the structure that the macro has ordained, put it into place. It is not a request. This is an order. In other words, you will do this. And if you don't, then you have the choice. The macro says, I'm giving you the authority to do this, and you have a choice to follow the order that I have set up. If you follow the order, you get the payoff. You don't follow the order, you get nothing. And you stand around looking, with your finger up in the air, going, wow, oh, hey, watching everybody else get. And you just sitting there watching the show. And you know what? Some of us are spiritually, that's the best we can do. That's just how it is. That's the best we can do. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Because I'm cool with wherever God put me. I'm cool. And I'm not worried about nothing. I'm not scared of nothing. There's no fear over here ever. And that's where I want you to be. Because once you get rid of all of this stupid fear and terror, you know what happens automatically? You know you are born happy? Because you're born into perfection. You're born happy. They got to tell you all these filthy lies to scare you into believing their crap. And that's where the hell comes in. Anybody who believes this crap, you're already in hell. That is hell. You're weak. You have no power. You're ignorant. You're dumb. They can con you in anything. They're flipping you, scaring you emotionally. You're an emotional puppet. They're flinging and flopping you around all over the place, telling you stupid lies and filthy crap, and you buying it. You know why? Because you don't know nothing. See, that's hell. You ain't got to worry about going nowhere. Once you leave this here, it's an order. There is structure. There is automatic stuff that the big dog has put into place. And you ain't ever going to change that. See? They ain't worried about no Christ and all that. So Christ even told you, he said, it is he that is within me that is great. So we talk about me. He says, you too will do these things. In other words, you're supposed to be doing these things. Just, but it wasn't his fault. There was no system in place. They killed him before he even put one in. They made sure they hurry up and killed him. And then they created the lie. And everybody bought it. Everybody is going off the cliff, buying into the lie, drinking his blood and eating the body of Christ after they done slaughtered him. Jesus. Wow, folks, just think about that. Is that ghoulish, filthy? I mean, my goodness. Wake up, folks. Wake up. Let's cut it off. Thank God the next gens that are coming in, they ain't going for it. Thank God. Now, you next generation young people, I love you, and I really encourage you, and I am so proud of you, because you're going to be the first generation to be free of all of this terror and all these filthy lies and unicorns and fairy tales and myths and bullshit. Excuse my French, because that's all it is, and you know it. You know, don't listen to these people telling you, oh, well, now we're going to thank you, Jesus, and all that stuff. Every time you say that, you are buttressing the lie. You want to be thankful for something? Just say, thank you, God, for making me aware. Thank you for making me wake up and opening my eyes and removing the shackles of terror, of all of the filthy lies that King James told those people to put in that book to keep your brains jacked up. At least they were honest enough to tell you that King James had them write all them lies. And what do you think King James wanted to do? Free you? What you think your slave and people, Africans that were enslaved, you think the slave master wanted to free you? That's why he gave you a Bible after he told you don't read nothing else. Just common sense, folks. This is not, you don't have to be a scientist. You don't have to be an engineer. Just use the common sense that you were born with. And you're going to see it. And when you realize it, chest out, shoulders back, head up. Stand solidly on your own 2 feet and be empowered by the realization that God gave you everything you need. Oof. Now you want to talk about jumping for joy. You ain't got to go no church. You ain't going to believe no Jesus. You ain't going to need none of that. Just get into the raw realization that God has empowered only you to control your beliefs for yourself and move this machine, this infinite machine that has the potential to do anything it wants. And you have been endowed with the power to imagine up and think up and believe up anything you want. And that infinite machine that has unlimited power to create what another unlimited being, an unlimited being riding around in this flesh vehicle. But you are an unlimited being that can't die ever. You know how much power you got? That's why they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know this. You got massive amounts of power. And it may take the bulk of this lifetime. Now, I'm in my 60s. If you are a 12-year-old, if you are a 15-year-old, if you are a 20, 25, 27, most people, most young folks, you'd have to be 27 before you really able to get this. But if you're smart enough to be younger than that and get this, let me tell you something. People are going to try to make you doubt this, because this is powerful business. They will not be able to control you once you get your head around this. They will not be able to control you. And I encourage you to pick up and read other books, other great thinkers, people like Charles Hennell or Claire McGee, people who are telling you to use your imagination. And when you get this Dianetics and you become clear of all of the crap, the dysfunction, the rape, and the knockout, people been knocking you on, any of you have been knocked unconscious, and while you were unconscious, anybody said anything, this is the book to clean all that crap out. That's what this is about. You, those of you who know you've been knocked out, you've been raped or whatever, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. It wasn't you that got raped. It was this vehicle that got raped, not you. But this vehicle has an AI, the automatic intelligence, the auto intelligence system that can cloud and take the reins of control from the microcosmic, because the microcosmic may not be spiritually evolved enough. But at least if you know it's there, you can begin to clean up and clear out and get some of that crap out, so you can get those handles back into your control fully, and forget about all that stuff. You can't forget it unless you go through it, live through it, laugh it out, go through the trauma, feel the pain, because again, it's about feelings. Go back there, feel that. That's what Dianetics is about. Clearing, taking you back there and making you relive it and face the fear and get past the fear and put the fear behind you and take charge and become more empowered with the truth of what you are. An unlimited being with unlimited power to overcome anything that happens in this temporary world. Because all of this, including this thing here, this flesh vehicle, right? This temporary. That's another reason why don't let whatever they do to this vehicle. Don't take it personal. It's not you. It's just the vehicle. But if you don't know, you will buy into the fact that this is you. And that's what I want to free you up from. Stop that. This is temporary. You are forever. Can't die. They call it infinite being. This is a finite entity, flesh. It rots, it gets old, it falls away. You get another one like that. Get a whole fresh new start. But it's all, even that one, that's going to be a temporary start. The vehicle is just temporary. And that's what God set this up. You just authorized to take advantage of it. That's what they meant by be fruitful and multiply. Fruitful means be happy and multiply your joy. Okay? Multiply your wisdom. Spread it around till they ain't about to have no damn babies. Spread perfection. Spread being better. Spread being powerful, being in control. Spread being more perfect. More perfect. Perfect your environment. Perfect the powers and the control that you have here. Be brutal about it. Now that you know, in order to change something, sometimes you got to break a trend. And so you got to be brutal about it in order to break it. And then once you get moving in the right direction, now you can relax and not be so serious and not be so, because you're happy with the progress, but you're in charge. You have to be happy with what you see happening, with the direction things are going. You have to be happy. It's you. Not Jesus, not God. Don't try to give it back to God. God said, oh, I gave it to you. Don't try to give it back to me. I don't like that. Not that God don't like you just don't get what you want. God, neither here nor there. We're in the habit of that now, but neither here. God don't care. You either do and get, or you don't do and get nothing. Not personal. But that's what's available to you. That's why they say you have infinite potential. If you use it, then you will get the payoff. Okay? But you got to get to work. Notice I'm not going back over no stuff. This is all about get to work. There ain't gonna be no 20 more of these movies. There may just be a few more. I just realized now there's nothing more really to teach you. All that learning happened in the first 20 movies. This is about doom. Reason why I started this movie, I overlooked this apocalyptic BS that this stupid Bible nonsense crap, and I overlooked that, and it's such a disservice I did to you, because you really, that is a filthy, terroristic lie that can really distract you from focusing on your infinite in your infiniteness. See, I want you to stop thinking about that kind of stupid crap and focus on your power. I just keep I keep getting motivated. I just get so excited to realize part of being self-actualized is realizing that you are so important to this order and to this structure that only you can manipulate the infinite machine. And they know this so much that they are trying to get you to believe in their game to keep you from influencing that machine the way you want to. They want you to influence that machine the way they want you to do it and buy into their game to the point where they even giving you money and getting you to give them back money and to make you feel like, oh, you owe them something because they gave you money. But bull crap. God created all of this. They ain't nobody. Forget them people. Only thing God cares about is you. Be fruitful and multiply. And above all else, be happy. Enjoy life. Once you find out you are a micro God, empowered and authorized by God to create whatever you want, folks, you got power. You are something else. You are a micro God, and you'll never die. And no other entity on this planet has the intelligence and the awareness to do what you do. No other entity inanimate, definitely not inanimate, but no other animate entity is authorized to do what you do. Now, if that doesn't empower you and tell you how big and bad you are here on this planet, each and every one of you, and if you get 3, 4 more that get into that and are righteous, moral, and decent, y'all get together, create a vision for what you want for your environment and your future. It's game over, folks. Then nobody can stop you. Look at the Jedis. Look at how just a few of them were able to keep the entire galaxy in order. Because once you tap into that kind of infinite power, folks, if it's in the movies, it's already here. Between The Matrix, Star Wars, and Star Trek, those 3 movies, Keanu Reeves with The Day the Earth Stood Still, those 4 movies I found to be everything you need to know is in those 4 movies. And another movie I found to be incredible was Joe Black. See, he made it, they did like a little swing off, a play off on what death can do. They tried, and I thought it was really creative, to show you how even death can be drawn to tears over the beauty of what life is. And those entities that are, in other words, what I liked about meeting Joe Black in that movie, it showed that life, with all of its ups and downs and negatives and positives and emotions and experiences, how these entities that are incapable of actually experiencing them, when they do get a taste, they realize why the flesh gets so attached. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And that's why I would suggest that movie too, Meeting Joe Black, with Brad Pitt and Anthony Hopkins. Beautiful movie. Beautiful movie. It went over a lot of people's heads. Okay? Okay, so again, do your meditations. Okay? Forget about heaven and hell. Forget about Jesus Christ doing anything for you. You don't need Jesus. Never asked nobody to believe in him. Stop all that crap. Forget about that going and drinking, eating, that cannibalism, drinking the blood, all that stupid crap, and this apocalyptic end of the world. Forget about all that stuff. That's stupid nonsense, and it ain't gonna ever happen. Now, if this planet go due to some gravitational force, so what? You'll be born somewhere else. Don't worry about it. Let that get here. That ain't happening yet. Right now, you got right now. Deal with this. Kick ass and take names. Don't take no shorts from nobody. Stand on your own 2 feet. Chest out, head up, shoulders back. Take no shorts from nobody. You're an infinite being, authorized by God to create whatever you want by controlling your beliefs. This is your mind. Don't let nobody take control of this mind, not even this flesh vehicle here. That's yours. Have an insult level. Take charge. Do your job. And in the process, have fun. Because once you take charge and you realize your authority, that's power. And once you realize your power, you'll realize nobody can touch you. Go take some martial arts. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself, think up your own money. Get your own money. You don't need nobody else to worship you and give you their money. Think up your own money. Become independently wealthy. Kick ass and take names. Teach your children how to do the same thing. And teach them to be righteous and fight for righteousness. You see somebody doing something wrong, take off their head if you have to. Break an arm. Snap a finger. Break a knee if you have to. If you gotta mangle that body up to make that spirit get itself together, do what you gotta do. Remember, you a guardian. You a Jedi. You can't sit by and watch. You can't do that. This is your environment. You go outward. Everything comes from within outward. You got to take charge. You got to take charge. On every level. Physical, financial, mental, spiritually. Every direction. You got to take charge. Don't take no shorts from nobody. Use your judgment. I trust it because it's universal. Once you get into righteousness, your judgment is going to be universal. Okay? And have fun. Love ye one another. Okay? Build yourself a beautiful environment full of strength, freedom, joy, happiness, confidence, and power, and financial wealth. Okay? And have fun. On top of all that, have fun. Okay? One love, family. See you in the next movie.